Hello, and I'm glad that you are here for the first video. Just as a heads up, my recommendation for this one is to just watch it through. Don't worry about pausing and taking notes. If you need to go back later to write some stuff down, I think that'll work. But first time through, just kind of watch it through. Our focus today is tree diagrams. Specifically, we want to be able to draw a tree diagram and use it to find all possible outcomes. Sometimes when we have a situation, we don't know how many possible outcomes there are, and a tree diagram is a way for us to help figure that out. So what I want you to imagine for a second is you're walking through the park with your little sister, and all of a sudden you come to an ice cream stand. And right away your sister's like, ice cream? Let's get everything. And while that's kind of fun, you're a bit of a realist, so you think back and remember that you've only got $10 in your wallet. And so you're sitting here thinking about that ice cream menu, wondering, could you actually buy all of the ice creams, or do you not have enough money for that? So we're going to focus on this menu, and we're going to see how many different possible outcomes there are at this ice cream stand. So here's a close-up of our menu. All the ice creams cost $1, so that's kind of user-friendly for us. We need to pick a cone. We've got this cup-shaped one and a more traditional cone-shaped. We need to pick a flavor for our ice cream, chocolate and vanilla. And then we need to pick a topping. We've got a strawberry sauce, a chocolate sauce, and some peanuts. And so when we go to make this tree diagram, what we need to remember for a tree diagram is you start off by thinking about what choices you need to make. And in this case, we've got a first choice, a second choice, and a third choice, as seen by our menu. You may have some situations where you have only two choices. You may have some situations that have more than three choices. But in this particular case, we have three choices. Our first choice, we must pick our cone. And so our first choice is whether or not we take the cup type cone or the more traditional sugar cone. That's our first choice. Now, once I pick that first choice or that first cone, I then need to pick my ice cream flavor. And so we have a second choice. In this case, it's chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream. And it doesn't matter what my first choice was, I still have to pick my ice cream flavor. So even if I chose this cone down here, I still have to pick chocolate or vanilla ice cream. And I'm hoping you kind of get an idea of where this is going. If I pick this first cone and I pick chocolate, I have to pick one of the three toppings, chocolate sauce, strawberry sauce, or peanuts. If I picked this cone and I picked vanilla ice cream, I still get to pick one of the three toppings, and so on and so forth. So with that, we can look at this tree diagram and we can list all of our possible outcomes. And the way to think about a possible outcome is it's basically every endpoint of our tree diagram. So this top branch right here, I pick this particular cone, I pick chocolate ice cream, and I pick chocolate sauce, and this would be a possible outcome. I could have picked the same cone, the same chocolate ice cream, but strawberry sauce, in which case this is a possible outcome. Similarly, same cone, same ice cream, but now I picked nuts for my topping, and I have this as a possible outcome. And you can follow those branches going across for all of your other flavors, filling in the possible outcomes. And so what we can see right here is with these three choices, pick your cone, pick your flavor, pick your topping, we end up with a total of 12 possible outcomes. What you may take note of, our first choice had two choices, our second choice has two choices, and our third choice has three. And so you can think about it as being 2 times 2 times 3 gives you your 12 possible outcomes. Now, most of the time, we won't draw pictures like this. I just did it for sake of clarity. So most of the time, we're going to write it with words, okay? So we've got cup and cone, we've got chocolate vanilla, we've got chocolate sauce, strawberry sauce, and nuts. And so your version of this most likely is going to look something like this. I'm going to ask you, if you haven't, to please put this in your notes. So just pause the video and write this down. And so you've got a general idea of how these tree diagrams are made. Now, ultimately what's happened, we don't have enough to buy all the ice cream. I'm sorry, but $10, we can definitely buy some ice cream. So hopefully with this video, you should be a little bit more comfortable in that you can now draw a tree diagram and use it to find all possible outcomes.